This is our time. The main news at this hour, I'm Andrew Sinitsin in the studio. Hello? 5 people were killed and 9 injured as a result of an attack by Russian forces in Zaporizhzhia. The Russians dropped an aerial bomb on a residential neighborhood. It exploded at a bus stop just a few dozen meters from a 9-story apartment building. The blast wave shattered windows and balcony doors in 5 neighboring apartment buildings. Storefronts and shop buildings were damaged. And a kiosk at the local mini market was also hit. A fire broke out there. The fire was extinguished within a few hours. Right now, utility workers and rescuers are clearing the debris at the site of the attack. They are helping business owners retrieve any undamaged property from the destroyed shops. They are boarding up the broken apartment windows with wooden panels.
The glass has been picked up, and thank God at least the building is still standing. Windows can be replaced. That's not as bad.
At the moment, rescuers are working on dismantling the damaged bus stop, specifically taking apart the metal structures. We're also clearing construction debris and helping people retrieve their equipment and belongings from the damaged kiosks.
He died as a result of the Russian attack on the Chernihiv region. During the day, Russia attacked the region with drones. In the Chernihiv district, a fire broke out on the grounds of a private residence. A residential house was damaged. In the Novgorod-Seversky district, a grocery store caught fire. Rescuers freed a woman from under the rubble. However, they were unable to save her. The aftermath of the attack has already been dealt with. The Dnipropetrovsk region was also hit by Russian drones. 1 person was killed there and 2 are injured. This attack took place in the Sinelnikova districts. 3 private houses were destroyed and 2 more were damaged. Nikopol and 2 communities were once again hit by Russian shelling. The Russians attacked them with artillery and drone strikes. There, a private house, an outbuilding, and a gas pipeline were damaged. Last night in Kherson, Russian forces struck one of the medical facilities. Fortunately, there were no deaths or injuries. However, the building of the medical facility itself was damaged. About 20 windows were shattered in it. Inside, the ceiling, computer equipment, and medical devices were damaged.
At around 1 in the morning, there was a strike. About 20 windows were shattered and some office equipment, a computer, and a system unit were damaged. We're currently determining the extent of the damage.
Five people were injured as a result of the Russian army's attack on Odesa. 3 of the injured are currently in the hospital. Russian forces attacked the city with strike drones. One of them destroyed 2 private houses, and another 30 buildings were damaged. The local auto repair shop is also affected. More on the consequences of yet another Russian air attack on Odesa in the report from my colleagues.
The strike from the Russian drone landed near Lydia's house. The woman says there was a very powerful explosion, and she still can't calm down after the attack.
It's scary, really scary. We barely managed to run out and hide into the hallway, but even so, everything is just so frightened. The cars were damaged, the windows too, and the roof is gone. Winter has come in, and I have no idea how we'll manage. The windows won't close, the hinges were torn off, and the double-glazed windows blew out.
The buildings nearby were damaged even more. 2 two-story houses were completely destroyed. The residents were hospitalized.
A woman and her child, they say they were badly burned. We didn't make it in time. We just managed to run out. You couldn't see anything here. It was so dark. The firefighters put out the fire and an ambulance was called. So yeah, it's just that scary. And now there's another alarm going off.
The Russian army attacked Odesa for several hours in a row. The first group of drones struck the city closer to midnight. The second group hit around 2 in the morning, when many residents had already returned from the shelters and gone to bed.
You know how I woke up? I woke up by some kind of instinct, and I heard it. It whistled by. I hit the ground. Like I said, it even blew the doors open. At the
scene of the strike, all emergency services were working, and an operations headquarters was set up. All necessary assistance was provided to those affected, including building materials. Utility services are ensuring passage through the streets where debris from the attack drones was found. Last night, Russia once again attacked Odesa in the region with strike drones. Fires broke out as a result of the strikes. 2 private residential houses caught fire, as well as a service station building with 3 cars, an administrative building, and 2 trucks. On the morning of November 21st, the Russian army continued its attack on the Odesa region. They launched strike drones again. According to the regional administration, debris fell and there were impacts without detonation at several locations in Odesa and the region. Specifically, in a residential area, the facade and roof of a building were damaged, as well as the 11th floor of an unfinished apartment building and the grounds of a hotel. Ksenia Sitinskaya, Zarab Tedaluri, reporting from Odessa for Freedom TV channel.
Russia launched 115 drones at Ukraine on the night leading into Friday. About 70 of them were Shaheds. This was reported by the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The defenders of Ukraine's skies neutralized 95. Drones of various types hit 12 locations in the north, south, and east of our country. In 4 more places, debris from downed aerial targets fell. Only President Trump and the United States have enough power to put an end to Russia's war against Ukraine. This was stated by Volodymyr Zelenskyy in a video address the day before. According to the president, Ukraine supports all fair decisions made by the American side on the path to peace.
We realize that America's strength and America's support can genuinely and meaningfully bring peace closer, and we absolutely do not want to lose that. We also understand that Russia has no real desire for peace. Otherwise, they wouldn't have started this war. There are many assessments, quite fair ones, that say Russia has spent this entire year trying to do only one thing: delay sanctions and buy more time for war. America has the power to make Russia's attitude toward ending the war finally become serious. I will continue to work 100% for this goal. All my time right now is devoted to exactly this. Ukraine needs peace, and Ukraine will do everything so that no one in the world can say that we are supposedly the ones undermining diplomacy. This is important.
The European Union is preparing its own plan to end Russia's war against Ukraine. The Wall Street Journal reports this, citing its own sources. According to their information, the potential agreement will be more favorable for Kyiv. European leaders want to agree on it in the coming days and are urging Ukraine to support this plan specifically, not the American one. Kyiv is ready for constructive dialogue with the United States and its allies, but Ukrainian land is not for sale. This is how Ukraine's permanent representative to the UN, Kristina Gayawishin, commented on Trump's peace plan during an emergency meeting of the Security Council. According to her, Ukraine has sought peace from the very beginning of Russian aggression. The actions of the Kremlin, however, say otherwise. Every Russian missile is evidence that Moscow chooses escalation, not dialogue. Ukrainians must respect a fundamental principle. Nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine.
Any genuine peace process must respect fundamental principles. The principle of nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine and nothing about Europe without Europe. And let me be absolutely clear. We will not encourage the genocidal intentions underlying Russian aggression, which undermine our identity, including our language. There is only one realistic path to ending this war. Russia must be forced to retreat economically, politically, and militarily.
Russia is preparing to test NATO's collective defense. This was stated by the Supreme Commander of the Swedish Armed Forces, Mikael Claesson. According to him, the Russian Federation could provoke an incident in the Baltic countries or any other part of continental Europe at any moment. And these intentions of Moscow will not disappear even after the war in Ukraine ends, Claesson emphasized.
They are ready to take enormous strategic risks to get everything they believe is possible. We saw this in Chechnya, we saw this in Georgia, we saw this in Crimea. The West as a collective is in a systemic conflict with Russia, and resolving it will take a long time. We're essentially talking about an entire generation. And it won't disappear with a possible ceasefire or the signing of a peace agreement in Ukraine. Michael Beeden, Commander-in-Chief of the Swedish Armed Forces, in an interview with Politico.
Today, November 21st, is the Day of Dignity and Freedom in Ukraine. This day unites 2 events: the start of the Orange Revolution in 2004 and the Revolution of Dignity in 2013. For Ukraine, these became defining moments. Ukrainians took to peaceful protests to defend their values. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, together with the First Lady, placed candles at the cross on the Alley of the Heroes of the Heavenly Hundred in Kyiv. The head of the Ukrainian state emphasized that the price of independence for Ukraine is high. And today, it is necessary to remember everyone who, at different times, fought for the right to freedom. What?
With a neighbor like Russia, defending one's own dignity, freedom, and independence is an extremely difficult task. But without this, the Ukrainian people can't survive. And that's why it's so important that Ukrainians do not give up, that they defend fundamental things, and thanks to their strength, they change the course of history so that Ukraine can live and develop. I think everyone who fights for our country as if for themselves. Volodymyr Zelenskyy, President of Ukraine, on Telegram.
Subscribe to UATV English and stay updated on the most important events, top news from Ukraine and all over the world, in-depth analysis, exclusive reports and interviews, all on hand in our channel. Join our community of viewers and stay tuned.